a look at this. And you will see that it is unfeasibly early on a Saturday morning. And when you take into account that it's a good hour and 10 minutes drive for me to get here, and it takes me around an hour and a half to get moving in the morning, you'll understand the extent of my commitment to this channel in order to bring you a stone circle autumnal equinox. Now we've got about 5 minutes to go, so I've set up this time-lapse running on there so we can capture the actual moment of equinox, if that's what you say. That was the moment of the autumnal equinox at Castlerigg Stone Circle 2023. I'm not entirely sure I got the timing right, felt a little bit sort of light, but that lot in the circle certainly got excited at 10 to 8, so it meant something. For those of you who don't know, and I'd be surprised if that applied to any of the subscribers on this channel, the equinox is the day in the autumn where the day and night are of equal length. This week we have got something for the YouTube amateur antiquarians, and we've got something for all of you mumbo jumboists out there. Castlerigg Stone Circle is believed to be one of the oldest in the UK, dating back to around 3200 BC. Now, I found that the autumnal equinox experts over there in the circle are generally friendly, although some of them have made a right palaver about me being a spy from the 1950s. Despite being one of the oldest stone circles and best preserved stone circles in the UK, it wasn't really reported on until our good friend William Stukely came here in 1725. As you probably know, Stukely and his type of antiquarian became obsessed with druids. So at one stage the circle here was called the Druids Circle. That's imaginative, isn't it? But of course it doesn't work at all, because the druids, for what they're worth, were an Iron Age phenomenon, and this circle was built in the Neolithic. So that idea is pants. I've just spoken to some of the equinox specialists in there, very nice actually, and hopefully they're going to subscribe now, say hello in the comments. They've explained to me that what they've been doing is the equinox is a moment where they can release let the negative energy go, and that goes into the ground, and then they let in the new positive energy. So I'm going to do some of that now. I'm going to let in the positive energy. Yeah, that is actually better. Alexander Thom, that famous archaeo-astronomer, and I didn't actually know there was such a thing until I researched this place, believes this was an astronomical observatory. Whereas Burl, from around about the same time as Thom, believes that this was an axe emporium, a trading centre for the Langdale axes that we were talking about last week. That location's about 10 miles due south of here. A view that would probably curry favour with more modern day antiquarians such as Tweedy Outdoors /pubs/wine. There's around about 40 stones, but one of the unique features of Castlerigg is this, the sanctuary, an inner circle within the circle. Now they don't rightly know whether that dates to the same time as the original construction or not, or indeed what was its purpose. The archaeo-astronomers have struggled over the years to find much evidence of this site having been aligned with anything. I've come here for the autumn equinox because the best alignment is here between Clough Head and Threlkeld Knot during the autumn equinox. It's all going on here today, sort of gyrocopters. No one has been able to really find an astronomical significance for the sanctuary here at Castlerigg, but if we look at the axe factory idea, then possibly this was a stock room or the area where they actually did the exchange. However it was, they paid, bartered for their Langdale axes. Right, so the astroarchaeologists or archaeoastronomers, whatever it is, may struggle to find much by way of alignment here at Castlerigg. The case for this being a trading centre, the Tweedy Outdoors hypothesis, if you like, is strong. The location is perfect. We are on a sort of a raised dais of land in a bowl of mountains with ways through the mountains to the south, the north, the east and the west. If we imagine the site behind me with beacons alight, maybe with white sort of painted stones laying around, it really is a compelling argument, I think, for this being a trading centre, a place where people could meet and trade their wares. They may have even had little sort of stalls like a market in the middle with sort of cow hides over the top to keep the rain off or something like that. And its survival is a blessed miracle. You may be able to see behind me here, we've got ridge and furrow ploughing, and that's all around it. But for reasons lost to time, the ridge and furrow ploughers avoided ploughing in the circle itself, which was a good job. The main entrance was here to the north and is well preserved. The equinox experts have gone now. They tell me they'll be back at 4 o'clock to do some more of whatever it is that they do. I had a chat with Sylvia. She didn't want to do an interview. She's the one who accused me of being a time-travelling spy from the 1950s. Very nice lady. She's been visiting all the stone circles across the UK, or a good proportion of them, and she tells me that in the centre over there is where she felt the energy. So let's go and give that a try. They seem to be doing something with this sort of murky little pool here. You might be able to see that there are sort of flowers and petals sort of scattered all around it. So let's see if this is the point where we can feel the Earth's energy. Nope, can't feel anything. I think it's at the summer solstice that the shadow on this large stone is meant to extend something like half a mile, would you believe? The mumbo jumbo amongst you will love this one. The Castlerigg Stone Circle is also known as the keswickcarles, and possibly William Stukeley may be responsible for some of this, having mentioned it in his account of the site. And the keswickcarles basically are petrified men who crossed some sort of bad spirit or witch or something and were petrified and turned to stone. And that's what we're looking at today, petrified men. I have to admit, I was pretty petrified when I arrived here this morning at about 7:15. I thought it was going to be a bit darker actually, so I was pleased about the light, and I was also pleased those equinox experts were here and I didn't have to walk onto this site on my own. But I'm not superstitious. But what if those equinox experts had not been that and had been satanic ritualists who may have chosen that they wanted to sacrifice a YouTuber to their dark god? It is an incredibly well preserved Neolithic early Bronze Age stone circle. I think they count 40 stones today, and I think that was the same in Stukeley's time. Some experts say that there were 42 perhaps originally. Maybe that was a gap there. 100 or so years ago, they did find what was possibly one of the stones of this circle, and it's over here. Let's go and have a look. placed here around about 1913, I think it was. There's a whole series of scratch marks on it suggesting that it fell victim when it was in the ground to those ridge and furrow ploughs yet again. So there's no suggestion that this is in its original place, but it is a significant stone, and it may well have been in the circle or connected to the circle, who knows. Ritual, astronomy, or trading. I tend towards the trading aspect. People needed to live, and they always have done and always will. So I think it's a case of science, Miss Hawthorne, science. I hope you have enjoyed the equinox at Castlerigg Stone Circle. Please like and subscribe. And they've promised me there's not going to be a stilted ending today. I've been told to stand here, and apparently something pretty funky is going to happen. No.
You are the reporter.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Oh.